James, congratulations on the extended contract. You're happy to commit your long-term future to Aldershot Town?
Yeah, delighted. I was really pleased when the offer came in, and I didn't hesitate in committing my future. So yeah, very happy with life here at the moment.
That's it. You are enjoying life at Aldershot Town Football Club.
Yeah, it's good. It's challenging. We obviously started very well. A little bit of a dip now, but we're in the early stages of what we're trying to achieve here. So.
And how does it differ with academy football? You were working with elite players, some of the best young players in this country. You've come down to Aldershot Town. Are there any differences, any surprises that you found?
I wouldn't say come down. 23s football has its place. But first team football is very different. First team environment is very different, and I'm learning on the job quickly. Some of the players, or quite a big batch of players that get released at 23s at Category 1 and Category 2 clubs don't make it to this level. So I would say this is a higher level, working with these players, and a different kind of challenge which I'm relishing.
And we have seen a direct comparison between the two levels with Dion Conroy, who's come into Aldershot Town and settled in very well.
Yeah, you've got to think that he's won the Champions League, Youth Champions League with Chelsea. So that's at the elite end of the youth sector, and he's come in and he's played his part, but he's obviously found it difficult with the tempo, etc. But he's done well. He's got more potential than what he's showing at the moment. I think he'll be honest about that. But yeah, he's played his part, but he's got a lot more to do.
Are you enjoying working with Gary? You feel you're working well with him?
Yeah, we're working closely together on and off the field to achieve our long-term goals. And as I say, we're in the early stages, and long may it continue with what we're trying to build here for the long term.
How is the professional relationship developing? Is there I think when you arrived, I suggested there might be a good cop, bad cop, the classic manager and assistant relationship. Is there anything of that? Or are you both good cop or bad cop?
It's not an act. We don't just say, "Oh, okay, I'm going to be the bad cop today." It's honest, 360 degrees feedback, if you like. As I said, we work closely with the players off the pitch as well, as we believe that's a key motivation for their performances on the pitch.
The players have been very complimentary about your training sessions. They say they're some of the toughest they've had to perform, but also really enjoyable. What are you bringing to them?
It's nice to hear, first and foremost. Russ and the gaffer and I, we sit down every day and plan the training ahead, so we know what our philosophy is, if you like, which is obviously attacking, expansive, high tempo football. It takes more than just 5 months of training to get there on the pitch. So consistent training alongside our philosophy, really.
Part of your ongoing development is you recently graduated from the Cruyff Institute in Amsterdam. What has that taught you?
That was challenging, that course. It taught me a lot to open up about myself, perhaps areas that on the face things you wouldn't necessarily be normally comfortable opening up about. Their motto is obviously you need to learn to coach yourself before you can coach others. I think that was a key phrase for the course, and I certainly did that over the 6 to 9 months I was on that course.
That phrase was something I was going to pick out. Can you elaborate upon that more? So it's developing players, but as that phrase alludes, it's developing yourself first and foremost.
Yeah, it's raising awareness of perhaps controlling your own ego, not giving the players, dictating to the players all the answers. It's more a case of maybe guided discovery, and having the relationship there with them for them to be open with you and to come to you rather than you always going to them. And I think that's a key cornerstone of what I'm trying to achieve here.
At the Institute, you were working with coaches from a lot of different sports, not just football coaches, and coaches who've worked at elite level, Olympic champions. How important was it to get that broader perspective?
Massive. A great start for me along that sort of journey of individual development, if you like, within a team dynamic. Olympic champions often work one-to-one with a coach, so it was great to see how that dynamic worked, because obviously when I go out on the training pitch here we have a squad of 18 to 20, and you know, it's making sure they get their individual development alongside the generic team training, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I suppose the nature of becoming an Olympic champion is that you're never satisfied. That even when you've won a gold medal, the next challenge is always the greatest. You're never satisfied with where you've got to. You always want to move on to that next level. I suppose that's something you took away from it as well.
Yeah, it's. I think Phelps is a good example of that. The swimmer. I mean, I don't think he got out of bed when he won all the Olympic golds in his first Olympics. He then realised he obviously achieved his long-term goals. It's about setting new short and long-term goals, and it doesn't matter what age you are. You can always develop your game, and it's getting that across to the players here.
Are you? This may be an impossible question. Are you able to define, or has the science of coaching been able to define what makes a good coach?
There's no holy grail what makes a good coach. There's all sorts of approaches you can take and philosophies, but I guess what I've learned along the way so far in my short-term time coaching is that you have to, you know, whatever your philosophy or whatever your approach is, you're consistent with it, and you believe in what you're doing, and that will rub off on the players. Is
it more? You are more, I would say, than just a physical coach or a technical coach, that you become almost a mentor, a counsellor, that you, as you said, you're coaching yourself and you're also coaching players, not just to become better players, to become more better rounded individuals and people as well. Yeah,
that's particularly important for the younger players such as Idris, Matt and Luca that have come into the first team environment. I think we have some really good people here anyway. Certainly don't need me to dictate to them about their personal lives, etc. But it's about creating a culture here, and that takes time. And Gary's heading that up, and I'm supporting him in all his duties and doing that. But ultimately, you know, supporters, the board, and players and staff, we want results on the pitch, and that hasn't been good enough the last 6 to 8 weeks. We haven't done enough on the pitch. That will turn around, I can assure you, and assure the supporters of that. And going into these 2 games over Christmas and New Year's, my first taste of it, and I'm sure we'll put all our efforts into getting a good result on that.
And finally, I suppose it all comes down to the one important question: how are you able to bring all of these experiences, these qualifications, to benefit Aldershot Town in the immediate term?
Well, it's allowing me to support Gary the best I can, day in and day out, and really supporting him in all coaching duties, but also with the motivation of the players, and making sure we come out of this little bit of dip we've gone into. But he's an experienced manager, and for me to be able to work with him, I'm very grateful, and I'm grateful to the board to give me this opportunity to work long term at the club, which I'm loving.
Excellent. Well, long may it continue. Thank you very much, James.
Thanks.